What's up everybody, welcome back to another amazing episode. As usual, we give you exclusive content, exclusive in the exclusive garage. But before we get into the video, make sure you have hit the like button, subscribe to the channel kama you subscribe, also turn on the notification posts kama umesubscribe to the channel. And we are on the way to 1000 subscribers. For the new members, welcome into the gang. You are very much welcomed. So this is me in the garage at around 8:30 in the morning. Hatukuwa tuko busy sana, but we had this car Jaguar ilikuwa na issue na suspension system, so you were removing the airbags from the car because it uses air suspensions. I also noted that the car has an 8-cylinder straight engine type kwa sababu this is not block yake si V-shaped. But away from that, what we are extracting now is the air suspension. This is the air suspension system here in the airbag. Tulikuwa tushaiachanisha from the arms. This is the front shock absorber. What we were doing was sending the dealer the car part number and also the brake pads zilikuwa zimetolewa. The rear airbag took a longer time kutoa kwa sababu it is fitted in the boot, and accessing it you had to remove the boot cover and also work on it very keenly kwa sababu the space down there is very minimal. And this is it. Zilikuwa zinapigwa picha, the same process. Then tukazirudisha kwa gari kwa sababu we are not sure if we are going to get them. Tukatoka hapo tukaingia kwa an engine block. Tulikuwa tunatoa the piston kwa sababu the oil ring ilikuwa inapitisha oil, thus leading to the car smoking a lot. So what you are seeing here, this is a crankshaft and the piston rods attached to the crankshaft. What Ogada is pointing is called a rod cap, and we were removing the piston number 6 from the block because the oil ring ilikuwa iko na issue. And once it was off, we started cleaning the inner side of the block. These are what we call the rod bearings and the piston skirt and the piston rod. Here Ogada was replacing the oil ring and the combustion rings. In a cylinder we have 2 rings, the oil ring and the combustion ring. This is what we call a ring squeezer. It is used to squeeze the combustion rings while you are setting back the cylinder back to the block. As you can see, this is it being used. And what we were doing, we were replacing a good cylinder from the bad cylinder in the block that was going to be used in another vehicle. In a cylinder, I have something called a gudgeon pin, and this is the gudgeon pin lock. The gudgeon pin itself is this hollow tube that you can see, and we are extracting the gudgeon pin lock from the both sides so that you can remove the gudgeon pin. And after the long struggle, you can see the gudgeon pin or the wrist pin is now off, and it is used to connect the head of the cylinder to the piston rod, and we were setting it back. And as we were setting it back, came another client with a diesel cooler. This is a diesel cooler, and this is a diesel pump filter. Alikuwa taka zikuwe replaced, so we started by extracting the cooler which sits down in the car. So in order to remove it, you had to remove or pour out the coolant that was in the vehicle. And you can note the coolant reservoir ilikuwa imekuwa chafu. This is the coolant reservoir. And I also noted that iko na sensors, so be keen while removing these reservoirs. And this is the coolant reservoir. You can see venye chafu. And that you can see there, it's a mixture of coolant and fuel, and that's the sensor being removed. This is the sensor that I was telling you about. Na hizi vitu zikivunjika, they're very expensive. So once the reservoir ilioshwa ikarudishwa, now it was being fitted kwa gari. Kuna gari ilikuwa inafanywa buffing. What umeona hapo, it's lotion ya gari. It's called a G3. It's what you apply on the car, then you spray some water on it so that isikuwe moto sana while you're doing the buffing. Once the coolant reservoir was fitted in the car, we fitted the car with water kwa sababu tuko na coolant at the moment. Kwa kuja another client alikuwa taka the linings za gari yake zioshe, so tuka jump in kwa set. What I was doing here, nilikuwa napiga msasa the linings, also trying to multitask. Once I was done sanding them, nikaosha the linings with water and soap so as to remove any dirt particles that had fallen off in the drum. Because if you fail to remove those particles zenye ziko kwa drum, when you break down, the car will have some noises ni kama linings zinakulana. I mean, if you understand it, you understand it. Once I was done cleaning the lining, gari ya Jalango ikakam in the garage. Ilikuwa nafanywa service, ilikuwa nabadilishwa the brake pads kwa sababu zilikuwa zimechapa. So these are my colleagues attending to the situation. Afterwards, coming in another vehicle, ilikuwa inaenda kubadilishwa mguu kwa sababu its original wheel ilikuwa imechapa. So this goes to everyone who has a vehicle. When you are buying tires, please check the expiry date before you buy the wheel. Juu mguu inaweza kuwa na kampe lakini expiry date ilifika. The Mark X ikamaliza kufanywa buffing and now you can see how clean and sportageous it looks. Hatunaona kama kamera ifanyi the right viewing na quality ile ilikuwa iko pale kwa ground. You can see the interior looks mad clean. And if you want this kind of services, you are very much welcome in Landrovers. We are located pale hivyo Ndemi Road kwa junction ya Moringa. If you know Ngong Road, that is. Na kama ujui, please ni DM. I'll definitely redirect you to the place. Tukatoka hapo tukarudi kwa our piston. You noted that the piston that we were fixing ilikuwa iko ndogo, so we were changing it with this piston. Right now inafanywa usafi kiasi. The road bearings noted zilikuwa ziko off, so we had to buy new road bearings. And once they were here, we started fixing the cylinder back to the block. But as usual, we had to fix the compression rings first, and to fix them, we had to squeeze them so as the combustion can take place efficiently in this cylinder. And as we're fixing the piston, there came in an engine in the garage. There was a vehicle in the garage and the engine yake ilikuwa imenock, so the owner just decided to buy a whole engine, and this is the arrival of the engine. So you are removing it from the car, and as you can see, it is fully wrapped. Imetoka, imekuwa imported from Dubai, and the engine belongs to this vehicle. And those are the parts that belong to the vehicle, the front bumper. And what we were doing, we were fixing it kwa crane, and we had to remove the harness from the engine and fit in a new harness. So you started by extracting the pipes, the vacuum pipes, the vacuum pump, the steering pump, the harness ndio ile tunafaa kuiweka. And we just got down into work. And a quick test. Comment down below if you know what's being extracted from the engine right now. Hii yenye mnaona ikitolewa saizi. And as we were dismantling the parts so that we could fix the harness, we noted that the new harness, it had some sockets which were missing. So Ogada was fixing the sockets back to the harness. As you're waiting for the socket to be fixed back, the converter is what we call a torque converter. It's normally used in automatic vehicles. The torque converter was being bolted back to the gearbox. And once the torque converter was done being bolted into the gearbox, we fixed in the engine into the vehicle, because now the harness was all set. It was in the engine. Now the remaining part was fixing the engine and also fixing the gearbox. What we're doing down here, we were lining the exhaust system, the manifold, as you can see. And as you are fixing the exhaust, I noted another vehicle ilikuwa imekuja kwa garage na ilikuwa iko na issue na starter, and ilikuwa inakuwa checked up. I went to the spray booth. I found this car in the booth. Ilikuwa imeshapigwa rangi, tulikuwa imebaki ni kukauka, and the parts being fitted back together. Kuna vitu zilikuwa zimetolewa. It looks good. It looks really dope. And as we proceed with the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel kama subscribe, and also turn on your post notifications so that you can get any notification once I upload another video. Later on, there came in another client with an issue with the ride height sensor. It was not functioning. Ilikuwa imekwama juu. At the same time, tulikuwa tunakula ice. Huku watu wengine wanapenda ice bana huku. Angalia kama huyu amekula ice 3. Kuna mwenzangu hapa. It is a bunch of ice. Literally, we are icemen. The engine in the body now imebakisha vitu kiasi. Some pipes, few pipes, the steering pump, the AC compressor imani iko pale. Just some few pipes, and to fit in the radiator, and everything will be all set. The ride height sensor ilifanya kukuja usiku, so this is us at night replacing the ride height sensor. From there, this is the next day. Kitu imebaki now, this is the AC compressor pipe. Gari ya Ogada also ilikuwa imeleta ngori, so ilikuwa inabadilishwa. The fuel injector pump. This is the AC compressor being fitted in the car. This is the fuel injector pump ya gari ya Ogada. Hii ndio ilikuwa iko na ngori, so it was being replaced. So to call attention, Kutoka hapo we were not fixing. We were fitting some parts kwa gari. This is a car that has been sitting in the garage for a while. So kuna vitu zilikuwa zimefunguliwa and we had to move the car, so zilikuwa zinafungwa. This is a car yenye tulikuwa tukiunda, the V8, the Sudanese V8 tulikuwa tukiunda, and listen to it now. It's good. It runs properly. Just take a listen. Having fixed the nozzle issue, it was not smoking as the way it was smoking the previous video. Kwa wale umeona, now you can see ni moshi kidogo tu, and it's because of the oil leakage yenye ilikuwa kwa pale kwa piston, but one combustion ikifanywa itakuwa imeisha. Now back to our engine. The AC pipe imewekwa, kitu imebaki ni the fan na kwa the fan belt, and this is it ikinguruma. And once you found out that the car was starting, we started fixing the hierarchy of the radiators that we have, as you can see, and also the turbo pipe. Tukaenda kwa gari ya Ogada. Now the fuel injector pump ilikuwa imekuja, now we were fixing. It was being fixed in the vehicle. From there came in another client. Issue ya gari yake ilikuwa iko na leakage kwa sump and also the turbo pipe. Also tukabadilisha the spark plugs. So this is the turbo pipe. Mnaona pale hivyo kuna seal ilikuwa imekatika, so it was being fixed.
Purchase your tracks today.
And also now the sump guard ilikuwa imeenda kuchomelelewa. Kenye maana hizi ni steering rack. And once they were fixed, I had to diagnose the car because tulikuwa tusha interfere na the engine. So once you just remove something from the engine, inaleta some cautions kwa dashboard. So you start by fixing the ODB plug kwa socket. From there you choose the continent which the car comes from. Then you start diagnosing the car. And this is how we get to clear or diagnose a car. In case you have any issue with your car diagnosis, hit me up pale kwa DM, Instagram _Rix. My WhatsApp number is 0790190229. Afterwards came in another car with an issue of the spiral, and the purpose of the spiral is to provide connection to the airbag to the car's electronic. So this spiral was the horn was not honking. So what we had to do is extract the spiral, and after extracting the spiral, nika diagnose the car, and these are the faults that we got. So what I did, I cleared the faults, and these are the faults that remained in the car. Some of these faults are electrical, some are mechanical. The owner just decided we are going to fix them later. Back to our engine now, kile kinafungwa hapa ni the airflow sensor, na kitu imebaki ni the fan kuwa connected kwa engine. From there, our little child alikuwa maza form 4, so this is me, nilikuwa tumeenda kwa shule yao. I noted that this school, the form 4s wako wengi, like population of form 4s ni 540 students. Literally, that's the population of our whole school yenye nilikuwa nikisomea high school. Like you can imagine how stressful walimu walikuwa napitia. Obvious lunch manenos. And now we had an issue with our vehicle. Our vehicle was not starting up. That's after tumefika Nairobi. Why? Ilikuwa iko na issue na a socket ya fuel pump. So the socket ilikuwa iko na shida. And what we had to do is to get an electrician. Also in the process of trying to start the car, battery yetu na ikakuwa flat, so I had to extract the battery from the car and take it kuwekwa moto kuchajiwa. So you can see from the marking, this marking here inakaa reddish. Ikiwa red hivyo inamaanisha the battery is flat. When it's fully na iko greenish. So I disconnected also the positive terminal, and once the battery was off the car, nikaipeleka kwa kucharge. And after a short while, our electrician alikuwa amefika. Now this is the guy mwenye amenifundisha kazi. As venye nitwaka attachment nienda kwa garage yake. He's called Alex, anapatikana pale Kajiado. And he's a very good electrician as well as a mechanic. So if you're in Kajiado na pengine you have an issue with the car, just call Alex. Ako pale Kajiado. He's known as Alex Auto Spare ama ukipenda Alex Kawaya. So he was checking the wires palevo kwa dashboard, just trying to look where the issue is. So tukafungua the fuel pump. This is the fuel pump. Tukapata kuna socket ndio ilikuwa iko na shida, so we replaced the socket and we tested everything and everything was working just fine. Kutoka hapo nikarudishia mzae gari, and as a good client akanibea lunch, and that brings us to the end of the video. So thank you very much for making it to the end of the video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next episode. Peace out.